All right, let's get our NBA on for a minute. There's a rumor out there that the LA Clippers and Steve Ballmer may blow it up and trade everybody, include Kawhi Leonard. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Check out our NBA Talk playlist for more videos like this. Also, our NBA one-on-one playlist. We might be going some more live videos coming pretty soon. I am switching over to StreamYard, so no more XSplit. Last night, it was just the end of it. It was time for it just to go. But yeah, I have an NBA live stream sometime. You know, if you care about Khabib and Justin Gaethje fight, we will be going live for that fight. I don't know if it'll be on this channel or be on Line Killer Podcast. Check out his channel. We'll probably be doing that this weekend. Also, if I have enough time after that, which I may not, I want to go live for the University of Michigan and Minnesota game. I may not have time for that this Saturday, but check my other channel out, Mercy Sports Talk, just in case I got time. But let's talk about the Clippers, all right? And there was a rumor going around that Steve Ballmer was really, really mad. It was two things. He was mad because they lost to the Denver Nuggets and he spent all that money. And he also was mad because they passed up Michael Porter Jr., okay? And that pick, it was two picks they had, and they passed him up twice. But one of those picks was my Piston pick. And check out my Detroit channel again, Mercy Sports Talk. I talk about Piston lines, everything over there. Detroit, Metro, Detroit, Michigan wise. And they passed up on him. And that would have been a great fit for what they needed, but he had some back injuries, and that's why he failed. He probably would have been a number one pick. I think DeAndre Ayton went number one that year. I could be wrong. But basically it was a rumor going on that Steve Ballmer wanted to trade everybody after they lost. And he wanted to fire everybody in the front office and the coaches because they passed up on Michael Porter Jr. So this ain't no story that just popped up. And if it was just a little, rumor that popped up, I probably would have ignored it. But it's actually a story that you heard maybe a week or two after the Clippers lost to the Denver Nuggets and blew leads. And if they did trade everybody and blow it up, then what they're trying to do is get capital. They don't have any draft capital. So when you look at that team, Montrezl Harrell, he getting older, Patrick Beverly Lewis, they have no young talent. Long story short, no young talent. So if they were to blow it up, what would they trade Kawhi to? Boston could give an interesting offer for Kawhi. They can trade all three of their draft picks. Gordon Hayward, who got expired contract coming in if he opted into his player option, which the CBA is not agreed to yet. Okay, they can get him. Also, if they wanted to, they can trade Jaylen Brown. And they can do a sign and trade to bring Montrezl Harrell, so they can get them legit 3 draft picks this year, which the Clippers can do whatever they want with those picks. Also, Paul George, you looking like where will Paul George go? Maybe the Miami Heat, if they missed on Oladipo, they missed on Giannis. Maybe the Milwaukee Bucks can give them their first round draft pick for 2 or 3 years. So what the Clippers are trying to do is probably, if they do blow it up, is just try to get draft capital, try to get some young guys. You look at Lewis Williams, he got a trade market. He can help several teams out there. He might be able to go back to Philadelphia and help them and get them some punch off the bench. They got draft picks. Just in the Western Conference, do you want to trade those caliber players in the West? Maybe to Minnesota. Maybe they can give up Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George and try to make it work with Minnesota. Get those salaries off. Send them there for the number one pick in Minnesota, next pick next year, or whatever they want to do. It's just a lot of options for them in general, Would I blow it up after 1 year? No. Common sense. Any basketball player know it takes some time to kind of get that cohesiveness or that camaraderie, and they didn't have that time. That wasn't a real championship or real NBA. Steve Ballmer get mad because he don't know nothing about sports. And by the way, he is from Detroit. He don't know nothing about sports. So what I would tell him, give it a year, okay? Let them build. Let them get a one-off season together, real season. They go back to 2 bubbles, one in Vegas, one in Orlando is the rumor. January 13th is the earliest I heard they start. Latest I'm hearing is March. If it boils down to that, where, they don't do good next year, I heard Paul George and Kawhi can opt out anyway. So do you want to fail next year and then they opt out and then you don't have no draft picks until, 2026 or 2027? I get why they probably want to blow it up. But I think that team is good enough if they find a center. I think it is good enough. But personally, do I knock them? No. You can send Kawhi Leonard and Paul George for the number one pick and Minnesota picks for 3 years. You just have to make it work. Do they have enough cap room? You can give them one for the number one pick. But if you want multiple picks, you can get Minnesota number one this year, next year, and the year after next, if you could trade them both. Imagine D'Angelo Russell, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard on the wings, D'Angelo Russell and Cat. I don't know if they got enough for 4 max contracts, but that might work. You might, get D'Angelo Russell back. Who knows? Do you really want to trade him to Golden State to the Lakers? No. You look at the Pelicans. They a team with draft picks and young guys. You plug Kawhi, Paul George down there and get they 3 years worth of draft picks. So I get kind of where they're coming from, because you don't want those guys to walk next year if they can opt out, and then you have nothing to show for them. And then for the next 5 or 6 years, you have no superstars or all-stars, and you just got nothing. And then you got that new arena they building in Inglewood to open up. So personally, I get it. You cash them out now. You get your draft capital back for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. Also, you get Lewis Williams. You probably get a pick for him. He can go to the East and help a lot of teams out. Philly, Boston off the bench. He go to the East and be the guy. You look at Paul George, in the West, do you want to trade him? I mean, you could look at, Houston. If they got some things, you want to do. I mean, you could look at sending him to New Orleans. You could look at a lot of places to him. Memphis need a guy like that. Who else you got? You can send him wherever. I mean, you get some capital back. You can sign a trade Montrez, and they can build their draft capital right back. Me personally, I would like to keep that team together. If they win, they're going to come back and opt that into their last year of the deal. Easily, they're going to come back. So, Steve Ballmer just, being emotional. And that's okay. But you got to understand, LeBron lost his first year in Miami. Kobe and Shaq, they had to go through their lumps and build it up and all that. It takes time to win championships. And then you got to look at it. That wasn't a real NBA season. You got to stop, and just when they were starting to get they stride, come on. It'll be all right. Make some minor adjustments, and then we'll see where we're at next year. But it's scary when the players got control and they can opt out, and then you don't have nothing to show for it if they leave. So I get where Steve Ballmer coming from, but we'll see. I don't think that's what Tyronn Lue signed up for. Maybe he knew what he signed up for, but hey, we'll see what it is. Let me know what you guys think about the rumor. I heard this rumor a few months ago as well, a couple months ago. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. All my social media links there. Twitter's the fastest way than Facebook than Instagram. Also got a Facebook group. Want to check that out. Don't forget to check out our NBA playlist, NBA Talk for videos like that. NBA 101 for live streams, which I'm going to do a mock draft as well too. And also check out our Retro Hoop series, which I'm going to start cooking something up for that series as well too. Just talk about throwback hoops. Want to make a donation, share the video, hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. I truly appreciate it. Cash App is CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. We go.